Yeah. So this week, obviously, big story in the world is Harvey.
Yeah, that's the
hurricane. Yeah, I mean that's
the nation's eyes are upon it. Yeah.
I would imagine. I don't wonder how people outside the country see it too, but it's a big fucking story. It's been devastating.
Yeah.
I don't know do you know how it compares to Katrina as far as like lives lost and damage? I mean, do you know any of that stuff?
No, I think a lot of people are comparing it to Sandy.
So not quite as big as Katrina, but massive. Like a lot.
It's big.
Well, the thing is one of the positives, before I get angry, is that there are a lot of people have come together. Like a lot of people, like donations and people have spent time and effort and people are like really coming together at a time where we've been as a country pretty divided on a lot of different things.
Yeah. People
have come together to help.
Yeah.
JJ Watt, the football player, he's raised something like $17 million. Cool. Walmart donated like $25 million. Like a lot of money. Like it's people genuinely caring for others.
Yeah.
Now, what's on my tits? On the old tits. I haven't said that in a while.
Yeah.
For some fucking reason, and I wouldn't have noticed this, but you decided to make us a Twitter. So I occasionally check Twitter to like see how things are going, see if anything's changed, if there's something I need to be paying attention to. And this week there was a lot of attention spent talking about her name's Melania. Is that his wife's name? The first lady?
I think so.
Melania Trump.
Isn't it crazy that we don't even care enough to get the first
Dude, I honestly
name right?
The thing is, okay, so that's a whole different conversation.
I know, but
the thing is, we can talk about it a bit because I had a conversation just like this with a coworker. We could go into that a little bit more.
I agree though. I've gotten mixed up on all of the Trump's names. I have no idea. Like, I don't remember who Kushner is versus the other one.
What's his son's name? Like Duke or Dutch or
the preteen? Or the
boy.
Is he actually a teenager now?
Yeah.
I thought he was like 12 or something.
I literally don't know his age. But I don't know his name. I just know it's something strange, like Duke or...
I used to know... I knew the Obama's dog.
Well,
their dog's name was Bo.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I didn't.
And I don't know anything about the Trumps.
You know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
Yeah.
At the end of it, I don't need my president. I don't personally need the president to be a celebrity. Like, I don't care that much about him as a person.
That's the joke, though, is
right?
he actually is a celebrity.
That's the fucking funny part, is he literally is a celebrity, and yet I still know less about him than I've known about ones that weren't celebrities going into office.
Exactly.
But a huge number of people are paying attention to the fact that
I think it's Melania.
Melanoma Trump.
Oh my God.
Whatever her fucking name is. Melania Trump. She was wearing high heels to get on the airplane to go help with Hurricane Harvey.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and just throw that out there. People were mad that she was getting onto the airplane
with high heels
on.
For what reason?
Because that's what she was wearing. Are you saying why were people mad?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. That's the part where I was like, wait a minute, people are talking about this? Like, who gives a good goddamn, A, what she's wearing, B, what she's doing? It's the president. I mean, half the conversation that I kept hearing was that Trump shouldn't go anywhere near Houston because he would just get in the way. And then he goes, and then I see all these people talking about what his wife's shoes look like. And I'm like, who gives a fuck? I genuinely don't give a shit. Now maybe I need to care more.
Okay, so I'm gonna retweet this, but go on our Twitter. There's a political cartoon someone posted of Melania wearing stilettos it says danger flood zone, and a guy with a microphone that says MS Media says, "Oh, the humanity," pointing at her shoes.
So that's the thing is I understand that the cool thing to do is take anything that happens with the Trump family and just shit all over it. I get that. I understand.
Yeah.
I don't care because I've never been enough into politics to want to get involved with that because it's not even fun. It's low-hanging fruit. Right? I mean, to make fun of Trump, it's an easy joke.
It's so weird. Like, there's like this weird Venn diagram where
you and Venn diagrams.
What? I brought this
you
up
love them, yeah.
Maybe it's some.
It's how your brain works, man. You watch how things cross over. It's interesting.
Maybe it's a metaphor about boobs. That's probably
hey, now you got my attention.
No, this Venn diagram of politics and like absurdist reality TV, like weird icons.
which should never have happened.
The White House is now in the middle of that Venn diagram.
Well, and that's the thing is people
and
talk
so
about
the
her.
media is like fucking losing their shit over it.
And people talk about their family like they're one of the Real Housewives of.
That's what it feels like
DC
when we're not
shit.
remembering all of their names. It feels like it's a reality TV show that we haven't been catching up on,
and I'm really okay
everyone's
with it.
like
It's
obsessing
like
over.
With Jersey Shore, I knew if I watched it, I would be dumber. So I feel like if I follow the Trumps,
Potomac Shore.
So when people got so wrapped up in the fact that she's wearing shoes, and I read the word, and I felt really uninformed. Not about politics, about style and fashion, because they said the name of the shoes, and they're like Manolo Bonic, hooked on phonics. I don't know. There's that's the name of the shoes. They're like a really nice, fancy.
You're saying they weren't Ivanka Trump's brand?
No. So I was just kind of like, okay, and I was like, well, hold on, before I get caught up in the anger, how dare she wear high heels? Even though I feel like that's what she's always wearing. Like it's not like surprising.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
Right? So I'm like, okay, but she's not going to wear that when she gets there, right? And that's how my brain worked. It was like, well, she's obviously not going to wear the heels when she gets there. She's just getting on the plane.
Wearing yoga pants and tennis shoes, probably.
Yeah. So they literally cut to her getting off the plane, and she's wearing tennis shoes and like a jacket and a hat. I'm like, so all that, you guys are focusing all of that energy. We need to play the music because there's so much more.
Okay. We'll play the music and come back to this. Welcome to episode 23 of the Unreasonably Angry podcast. My name is Gary.
My name is Eric.
And how are you doing this week, fuckers? We started talking about Hurricane Harvey, and we somehow got some Melania Trump's high heels.
Well, that's the thing is that's as stupid and fucked up as that sounds. That's literally why I got upset, because I care about the people in Houston whose lives are being affected, right?
Yeah.
And what I was gonna get at right before we played the music was whether or not you believe in thoughts and prayers. Like that's a big thing, right? Like people like to either you're the type of person that believes in positive energy that you're sending their way, and there's people that are like, well, those are worthless. Thoughts and prayers are worthless.
You mean like
Send
actually
dollars.
like spiritually believe in and
yeah,
helping?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, but there's people out there that are like, I'm sending my thoughts and prayers, and then that sentence, people are like, well, that's worthless. And then there's some people that go, no, at least I'm putting positive energy out there. So if you're one of the people that believes in it, these people are taking the energy that could be put towards wafting good feelings down towards Houston, and they're now focusing it on being mad that what's her name? Melania Trump is wearing high heels onto an airplane.
Well, that's the thing. Like, no matter what happens, like if North Korea actually does launch a missile our way and it like actually causes mass destruction, no matter what is going on, like wildfires, whatever, it's gonna be like there's gonna be something that we need to talk about.
Yeah,
with
Ivanka
politics.
Trump is gonna take a dump and forget to flush, and that is gonna be Twitter trending. That's the word. I'm learning things. So, but anyway, so she got off the plane and she's wearing sneakers, and I'm like, okay. And for me, it immediately, I saw there going, well, how stupid is it people get mad about this? And then I realized we do that every week. We get mad about stupid shit.
That's
and
true.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right.
But we're not the media wasting our airtime talking about it when we could be talking about like more important things.
I just thought it was really fucking weird that in the middle of
we
all of
don't have
this,
more important things to talk about. We're just talking about stupid.
Yeah, certainly not.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about her shoes.
So new things for me. Manolo Blahniks. That's a new word for me.
What is that?
Those are the heels. Apparently, they're special fancy heels.
Okay. All right.
I now know something about fashion, so I guess I have the news to thank for that.
Yeah.
But I guess it's better. And that's the thing is I don't want to make light of. I mean, obviously, Trump does a lot of dumb shit. I think that's my point. Is there's plenty of dumb shit to poke at. Like to actually poke at shoes seems asinine, right? But I guess compared to what I normally see on the news, where it's just constantly like, be scared of this, be scared of this, be scared of this, be scared of this. I guess it's kind of funny. Like, but I don't know. I guess it's been so really like refreshing this week to hear about all the positive stories of people doing things down there that I guess that one little thing in the middle of it was just kind of like, what the fuck, right?
Yeah, I feel like disasters like this, they show a little bit more humanity.
Yeah.
Through the lens of the ridiculous media that we live under.
Unless you're what's his face, that Joel, the church guy. That won't let
oh my God. You're right. How have we not even talked about him yet?
Does he? I mean,
did you see that video?
No, I didn't see a video.
Oh, he was interviewed by like some morning news show.
No, I didn't see the video.
Basically denying that he didn't open the church right away, which he didn't.
Yeah.
And they even like the church let out a statement like, we won't be taking people in right now.
So he did some like,
and he basically like said like, oh, we were there from the beginning. We had everything was open. Yeah, whatever. And
that's like that's when you need
like
Carl,
lying through his teeth.
You need
like,
Carl Pilkington, the bullshit man, to fly in.
Bullshit. Yeah. Bullshit.
I just don't get that. I mean, I get that he's a televangelist and he makes all his money off. You know.
So he has to seem like he has to keep good PR.
But
even like
think that like that would lead you to be a better person starting out. I mean, don't you think you'd be losing some people from your church?
I don't actually. I don't really know why they didn't open it at first, but
I don't care. Like regardless, I mean, you have people that are leaving their jobs to go down to Houston to help, and then this guy's there, and he's like, nah.
Well,
I don't want my church to get dirty or something.
It doesn't surprise me, and this is terrible. Yeah. It doesn't surprise me that a televangelist who is a supposed like word of God. I don't know. Yes. I'm not very religious. I just.
Oh no, Gary! You need to understand that he's a tool that God uses to touch the lives of so many
exactly.
people.
We're in a place where that is the bad guy. Like what?
Yeah.
What? It's so like the commercial. Like I'm not a very religious person, but I'm not against religion.
Yeah.
But I'm against like the commercialization.
Yeah.
Of religion like that. Like,
well, yeah, I mean,
it's terrible. Like how they
make dollars off people's fear and guilt.
Well, speaking of which, it's not
before.
Much. Speaking of that, it's not far off from the media.
Yeah,
like profiting off of people's fear. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is
same thing.
You and I have talked about this, not so much on the show. I think we've touched on it a little.
Yeah.
But that's one of my main things. I don't watch the news, and I think that's part of why these stories that catch me off guard the way they do. People would be like, why are you surprised by that? That's normal. Or how'd you not know about that? And it's like, well, because I can't watch it because it's just a bunch of people trying to force me to be scared about things that I can't do anything about, or to scare me about things that, like, when I sit down and actually do research, makes me go, well, that's not really as bad as you made it out to be.
And that's not to say that you don't keep up with current events. Yeah. You just you choose not to like watch CNN or MSNBC where it's just like,
it's kind of, I mean, I think, I'm trying to remember, it might have been Bill Burr who talked about it, and people tend to get sucked into one news channel, and then what happens is you're really only ever getting one side of things.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's no news channel that seems
not just
very
one side.
Unbiased to me. Like, there's always some sort of, they have some agenda that they're trying to fulfill. Like, Fox has got their fucking weird shit, and then CNN's got their weird shit, so I never know if what I'm hearing is legitimate or if I'm hearing what they want me to, and it freaks me out. So I literally just go on, and like if I go on like I'll go on the BBC website every once in a while just to see from outside the country what people over there are hearing, and then I'll take and go, is this true? And then I'll kind of like look up things myself and go, okay, how upset do I need to get about this? But when it's like, I think the worst is like local news, and it's like, did you know?
Oh, yeah.
In your common grocery aisle, there are 4 things that may kill you. Next at 10, and you're like, what the fuck?
John Oliver did a segment on that on Last Week Tonight a while ago, where he's basically saying like they do like 24-hour news cycles, so they have to fill a ridiculous amount of time with just bullshit, and most of them are operated by like that conspiracy where it's like the media is owned by 3 companies.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, like almost all local news stations are owned by a few different corporations. Yeah. And like they're given these scripts where like you'll see like compilations on YouTube of like 5 dozen reporters saying the same exact
thing. Yeah.
And like
even
it's
you see the one where they're all wearing
creepy.
the same shirt?
What?
Like they had like a bunch of women wearing basically the same shirt, just like a different version of it too.
Really?
Oh my god, it was really
Was
really
it
fucking
Ivanka
weird.
Trump's brand?
Jesus Christ. Gotta bring it full
I'm
circle.
not letting that go. No, so what you were saying was like if people get sucked into one station and they see it from one side. That's true, but I see it like more like as like I said, like a filter.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's not only one side, but it's like everything that they tell you is filtered through their agenda
Sure.
and like what they want you to hear.
Like they're sprinkling
And,
on
like,
a dash of
Right. It
Yeah.
may be like you might have the core of the truth in there somewhere, but
Yeah.
like you said, they've like sprinkled all this other stuff on it so that when you hear it, you don't just hear the truth, you hear the truth with a way that will get you to perceive the truth.
Yeah.
And like that'll like control. It sounds like we're getting into George Orwell shit. But it's kind of true though. I mean, like the way that the media manipulates the population's view of the world.
Yeah.
Is,
Well, and the thing is, if you think about it, it's not even just the media. I mean, there are so many different ways, and
what is the media? I mean, Jesus.
Well,
Like, do we include like BuzzFeed News and like?
we should never include BuzzFeed in anything. Let's just
BuzzFeed News,
call
I've
that a rule.
I know, but I've seen them been taken seriously by like other major news corporations.
Well, it's kind of like how
what? What's going on?
TMZ is basically like
It's the bottom of the
worst.
barrel.
But they do break a lot of stories, especially now that they've gotten into sports. They've broken some fucking big stories. They're like,
yeah.
I don't know, it's TMZ, and then you find out later it's like, no, they were right. And the fact that that's where we're at now makes me really sad. Yeah. Because, like, I don't know who I'm supposed to believe. It's like if the National Enquirer said the world's going to end and the world actually ended. You're like, what the fuck have I been doing with my life? I should have been paying attention to the National Enquirer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just... What's tough is you want to care about things that are worth caring about, and you want to be able to live your life in a way where you don't get worked up about things that shouldn't be worked up about. But it's trying to find a way to hear the good stuff without being bombarded with the bad stuff.
Yeah.
And I know for me, it took me a while. Like I honestly can't watch local news more because not just the fear mongering, but just the horrible shit that I hear about like local people doing to each other. You know, it's like, oh, this person got murdered or this person was abducted or this kid got hurt. And it's like, I understand that people want to know what's going on, but it for me starts to shade the world in a direction that I don't want to look at it like.
There's a phenomenon where like, and there might even be a word for it, but where like,
Gefilte fish.
Sure.
It's not that.
What the hell is that?
It's a fermented fish.
Okay. What the fuck?
I don't know.
We're feeling random today.
Yes. Well, it's fucking 90 degrees in this room. So
yeah. No, there's a phenomenon. I need to stop saying like. There is a phenomenon where you see all this bad shit happening on the internet. Like you'll see, you know, people getting murdered on Reddit, and like you go to watch people die, and we're like, what WTF?
Yeah.
And you see all this bad stuff like in Tijuana or wherever really bad stuff is happening.
Yeah.
And I feel like the more you're exposed to that stuff, the more you take it in, the more warped your view of the world will get, and you'll start to think like that bad things just happen all the time.
Well,
And if you really internalize it, you'll walk down the street and think, oh God, I'm going to get mugged any second, or I'm going to get murdered and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like in Seattle, it's not an entirely safe city, but it's not like the worst city ever.
No, as far as major cities go, it's actually pretty safe.
But if you just watch local news all the time, you're going to think, I should never go into the city. My car's going to get jacked. I'm going to get robbed by a tweaker. I'm going to like
stabbed by a Nazi.
Yeah. I'm going to get shit smeared on my face from a homeless person. Like,
yeah,
it's ridiculous. But so there's like there has to be a balance between knowing what's happening, like the truth about the world, and knowing that bad things do happen, but also knowing that that's not the whole world and that there's goodness in it. So
yeah, well, I think that's kind of what our point of the beginning of this was. It was nice to see as devastating as everything was down there, it's nice to see how many people have come together from all different areas.
You know what I loved was the raised pickup trucks.
Oh yeah,
where it's like they finally have a use for their raised pickup trucks in Texas. That was like so. I don't know why, but I found that heartening. Like it was like, yeah, that's true.
Well, now's my time to shine.
Yeah,
yep.
Like usually you think, oh, those freaking Texans with their raised trucks, and it's ridiculous and so stupid that they do that. But now they're actually helping people, and it's really
making
nice
a big
to
difference.
See. Yeah, it's cool. Wait, we're supposed to be angry. What the fuck? Yeah.
Do you see the picture that also has been going around from the grocery stores down in Houston?
The one with the vegan food?
Yeah. Yeah. And I wonder if I'm probably not following my own advice here by going, hey, I saw this picture and it was really funny making some fun of this thing, and it's like not even real. But
yeah. But it's a picture. You want to describe it?
Yeah, there's a picture of like a fresher, not refrigerated aisle in a grocery store, and it was basically all like the vegan products.
Yeah.
And it was like, even during the worst of times, nobody wants to touch this shit.
Yeah, all around the vegan products, the shelves are empty. People are like scrambling for food to survive, and no one takes.
And they're like, I am not eating a goddamn Boko burger. Okay, not happening.
Did you see that there was a apparently in Seattle, only in Seattle, there's a chili cook-off for
for
vegans.
Fuck's sake.
For vegans. It's chili. Okay, now I'm getting angry. The main ingredient of chili, the reason chili is chili,
is
well,
meat.
first of all, it's the seasoning, but beef. It's fucking beef. And turkey if you're a pussy, but it's beef.
I wonder how many people look at their stereo right there and be like, hey, I like turkey chili.
I'm not sorry if you're vegan.
No, I'm not either.
I'm not sorry.
No.
You should agree with me. If you're vegan and you're cooking chili as if it's a normal thing to do as a vegan, you're fucking insane. It would be like Ron Swanson having a salad cook-off.
Yeah.
Like,
don't do it. Don't do it.
So here's the difference though. You can put meat in vegan food.
Yeah.
Then it would just not be vegan food anymore.
Exactly.
But you
It's just
can't
food.
make non-vegan food vegan. Like you can't. This stupid veggie hamburgers. Who are they kidding themselves?
It's
just
like
eat a salad.
It's like when people get like a. Do you know what a Geo is? The car. Do you remember the old Geos?
What?
Do you know what a Geo, like
No.
a Geo Metro?
No.
They're pieces of shit.
Okay.
They're old pieces of shit. And people used to buy them and then put body kits on them to make them look like Ferraris or Mustangs.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what a vegan chili is. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's pretending it's something it's not.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I know you're waiting for me to chime in, but you've said it all. I mean, I already have. This is the thing. I already have enough of opinion when people try to swap out things for turkey. I get it. You're trying to eat slightly healthier. I fucking hate it. I had a roommate. He knows who he is. He likes turkey bacon more than regular bacon, which is a goddamn fucking, that's heresy.
Yes.
Turkey bacon is not better than pork bacon.
No.
Now, if you're Jewish or whatever and you can't eat pork, I apologize wholeheartedly. I'm not trying to offend your religion, but turkey's not as good. It's just not as good.
Yeah.
On top of that, he liked to microwave his fucking bacon, which is a goddamn sin. So not only are you just shitting all over a delicious treat.
Wait, you mean like to reheat it or to actually
cook it?
Oh my, what
He
the
microwaved
fuck?
turkey bacon. Gross.
What?
Gross. Yucky.
Oh my god.
So I agree 100%. If you're going to eat chili, fucking eat chili. Right? Like, it's like going to a steak restaurant
or
to get like a
don't.
tofurkey steak.
Eat it or don't. If you're vegan, just don't.
But Gary, they want to enjoy all the
Okay,
things you do.
I've talked about this before. I'm allergic to dairy.
Yeah.
I am not fucking lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
I swear to God, every time I say I'm allergic to dairy, oh, you're lactose intolerant? No.
Does your tummy get upset when you
No,
eat
I'm
milk?
not. If I told you I have like, oh, my car's red. Oh, it's blue? No, it's fucking red. What the fuck?
Is it
Sorry.
maroon?
Okay. I'm not gonna judge people for not knowing the difference, but they shouldn't presume.
Oh, fuck that.
They shouldn't
It's
presume.
an allergy. It's 2017.
Okay. Here's what it is.
Gluten-free and
Here's what it
allergy
is.
fucking everything.
Here's
Fuck
what
that.
it is. People with lactose intolerance.
Yes.
they do not have enough of an enzyme in their small intestine to be able to digest a protein in milk.
I have lactose intolerance, and I take lactate pills when I eat dairy that I don't get the yucky poops.
Exactly. When you eat dairy, you get yucky poops. Your food doesn't digest it properly. When I eat dairy,
you die.
With a fucking allergy. My fucking immune system goes, wow, dairy is in our system. Dairy is going to kill us.
Alert.
Dairy is the plague. Kill dairy and kill Gary at the same time.
I love that your name rhymes with the thing you're allergic to.
And my immune system will literally kill me over it. I will die. I won't have a stupid, shitty shit. I will die.
Yes.
Okay, so now that we have that all the way.
Now that we have that out of the way, because you have the allergy, you're not going to go eat
No. So
cheese.
I'm not going to put fucking goat cheese on my hamburger and call it a cheeseburger. I'm just going to eat a fucking hamburger.
Oh, fair enough.
And sure, I'll have, like, Ben & Jerry's came out with
it's almond milk, right?
Yeah, they have an almond milk ice cream, but I'm not going to, like, go to an ice cream social and go like, hey guys, I'm eating ice cream just like you guys.
Hold on really quick. Does it say on your thing, does it say ice cream or does it say frozen dessert treat or frozen dessert snack?
I think it just says non-dairy frozen dessert. Yeah, probably.
They're even telling me like, this is an ice cream,
they make ice cream. Yeah. They know what ice cream is.
You know, one of the...
by the way, for the record, I fucking hate goat cheese. I hate any cheese substitute I've ever tried is fucking god-awful. I'm sorry.
You should try cheese from a breast. Breast milk cheese.
What the fuck? Also, for the record, I think as an outsider, I think it's fucking weird that we eat a food that comes out of a fucking cow's tit. I think it's fucking weird.
I would almost agree with you, but it's too fucking delicious.
It's unnatural. I'm sure it's good, but it's if you take a step back and look at it, it's just fucking weird that we do that.
Well, if you do that, you could do that with any food, realistically. I mean,
plants make sense, and
but meat. And that's basically the whole
hunting
basis
and killing
of vegetarianism.
Meat, that's really old, but how, like... It's probably like sucking milk from a cow's tit is probably not as old as hunting and killing and eating.
It's pretty old.
I know it's old.
I think they used to milk dinosaurs.
But cows aren't even natural. They're not even.
Just let that go.
People used to milk dinosaurs.
You see a fucking like hairy ass dude underneath like a brontosaurus just.
We're gonna get into some weird like.
I'm sure there's a porn
conservative conspiracy shit about.
I see. We went two different directions. You went conservative conspiracy. I was picturing like somebody on like some dinosaur porn subreddit.
Okay, no lo estos.
Really quickly though, no, hold on.
Cows don't even exist in the wild. We like made them, right? Like dogs, right?
I don't think we made cows,
but they don't. You
don't think
no, we didn't make them, but they don't exist. They don't exist in the wild. Like, you don't, like, see a cow wandering through a forest.
I can't wait to see the tweet for that.
We've domesticated all of them.
Domesticated cows? Dude.
Not domesticated, but whatever.
Well, the thing is, we milked other things, too.
I am speaking so ignorantly. I'm talking out of my ass. Please email us with hey, Gary's talking out of his ass. He doesn't know anything about cows because he doesn't even eat dairy.
Well, no, there are wild cows, like in the mountains, like the Himalayas and shit. Those are cows. I mean, a yak is kind of like that. There's yak milk, isn't there?
I don't know.
I think you can eat yak milk. I just like saying yak. Anyway, one of the things that actually does bother me is this fucking trend right now where people try to tell me that cauliflower is like a good replacement for things. Don't get me wrong.
Cauliflower is disgusting.
I actually don't mind cauliflower. You fucking hate cauliflower. But when you try to tell me...
I'm always like, I could be having broccoli right now.
Yeah.
Like, why am I eating this shit?
Some color, some pop, some zest.
Yeah.
No, I saw a fucking recipe for somebody making mashed potatoes, quote unquote mashed potatoes, but instead of potatoes, they used cauliflower.
Then it's not mashed
potatoes.
They're
not fucking mashed potatoes.
It's mashed cauliflower.
And as someone with some fucking Irish in my blood, I stand up and I say, no, sir. Those aren't potatoes. That's mashed cauliflower.
Oh, yeah. I just had bangers and mash the other day. And if it was bangers and mashed cauliflowers, I would kill myself.
You know what the answer I always get from everybody is? Well, if you season it right, it tastes really good.
No.
Yeah, but that's
how?
So are you saying if I take a shit and I put enough fucking paprika on it, I'm going to just not notice that it's shit?
Oh, God.
No. I guess I went too far.
Oh, Jesus.
But no, and the other thing is I saw somebody make pizza crust.
We're going to have some dry heaving listeners now.
Somebody made pizza crust out of cauliflower, and And they're like, no, man,
What?
it's just as good, dude. It's just as good. And it's gluten-free and it's fucking, it's, what's the other thing? Carb-free. There's no carb. And I'm like, dude, if you're eating pizza that already has cheese on it and sausage on it and pepperoni on it, are you really telling me the fucking carbohydrates in the bread is the problem? Really? I got really mad about pizza. I'm such a fat kid sometimes. Woo!
You know who I feel bad for?
Me?
No. I feel bad for people who actually have celiac disease.
I do. I actually do.
Like, they're caught under this like wave of the trend of gluten-free stuff, and they're gonna be left in the waste. We've wayside.
We've touched on this a little bit. We're hopeful that after all this is done, when the people that are doing it as a fad go away,
the fad might not go away, but it's still an issue for like if companies are just gonna like slap gluten-free labels on stuff and say, hey, it's gluten-free, but it's not like actually it was made in a at least I'm thankful that my allergy is not bad enough where that I can eat things where it says like this may have been this
like you can go walk into a Starbucks and not die.
Right. Well, this was like manufactured in a place that may have touched milk at some point, blah, blah, blah. I can still eat that stuff. Sure. It's not extremely severe, but people with celiac, that is a problem. Yeah. And like, for example, you'll get like Chipotle employees who have like this gluten-free training where they have to change their gloves when they're touching tortillas or whatever. And some of them are just going to think, oh, it's not that important. It's just these hippies that want to eat healthier. But then someone with celiac comes in, they don't change their gloves and they have a reaction. Yeah. And that's a fucking serious issue.
Sure. So but we've also talked about this before, and this is going to sound really fucking harsh. And I think I may have said this before.
Probably.
Have we just defeated evolution as a people? Have we just kind of crossed over to the point where...
Well, speaking of foods we're not supposed to eat, you're right. There's a shit ton of foods we're not
supposed to eat. Well, no, I'm not
eat.
talking about that. I'm talking about 100 years ago, 200 years ago, if you were allergic to things, you probably died.
You should have died.
Right? And now we survive everything because we've come up with a solution for everything, which leads to overpopulation, which is to where we're at, right? We're way overpopulated as people.
When we cure cancer... that's the day that we're all gonna be living in Japanese small houses and like, there's gonna be too many people.
We're just like gonna live in those little hotels where they're just like.
Speaking of harsh, that sounds pretty harsh. I just basically said that curing cancer is a bad thing.
I don't think. Oh my god. I don't think that's your point.
We need a new plague.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is as a people we've started to defeat natural selection.
So I should
survival
of
the. You should have died a long time ago. When your babysitter spilled that milk on your face and it was red down your cheek, that should have been it for you.
And oh my God. When I was like not even a year old, my mom came home to a bunch of like ambulances and fire trucks because I had been taken to the hospital because my babysitter forgot to keep a milk carton away from me. Yeah. Well,
and I actually had a similar story, not with milk, but when I was 3-ish, there was a chemical on the counter. And it was just in a glass. Somebody thought it was a good idea. Now, granted, this was the mid-'80s.
Does this story end with you having superpowers?
Yes. Yes. I can get angry at the flip of the switch.
I'm always angry.
So I'm walking by and I see this glass on the counter and they were working on something with the sink or the some sort of plumbing.
Yeah.
And I walked by and as a kid, I thought it was apple juice. So I drank the glass and I went and sat down and I'm like, I don't feel well. And I hear my uncle walk in the room and go, where the fuck is the da-da-da?
How old were you?
3 or 4.
Oh.
And they go, where is that? And I go, I drank the apple juice. And they go, that wasn't apple juice. So they're freaking out, maybe
Did
throw
they
up.
pump your stomach?
They made me throw up and stuff. I guess they caught it early enough.
Wow.
But the crazy thing is I probably should have died.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is as fucked up and morbid as that sounds, we've gotten to a point now where we've found a way to defeat most natural selection. And then we're surprised that we've overpopulated the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then people want to try to fucking tell me when I'm gladly killing myself with delicious pizza that I should stop it with cauliflower. I'm trying to do you a favor here.
That is like, it's really the most morbid like catch-22 is that like we're saving all these lives, but it's also going to kill us.
Yes.
Like...
Yes, like basically the 8 or 9.
Welcome to the Unreasonably Morbid podcast. Please stick around or talk about.
You know what I really feel bad for is all the necrophiliacs.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just less supply for them.
Yeah. There's only so many jobs in funeral homes and. Yeah, anyway.
We've crossed like 7 lines this episode.
Yeah. So, congratulations if you're still listening.
Yes, you've survived. Speaking of survived,
yeah.
we survived the 7th season of Game of Thrones.
Yes, we did.
We did.
Wieners, floppy wieners, floppy wieners. That's a South Park reference. Check it out.
Check out South Park if you haven't.
Yeah, it's a little show on Comedy Central.
Yeah, it's only been on for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Season 7.
Season 7. If you are just tuning into our podcast, if this is your first episode, we like to talk about TV shows and movies and stuff because sometimes they make us angry too.
Yeah,
and
even shows we love.
Yeah, even ones we enjoy.
Yeah,
like Game of Thrones.
And again, it's not we're not going to talk about as many as obscure shows, but this is a fucking cultural phenomenon.
A very
like
obscure show.
It's funny. Somebody posted a thing on Reddit or on Facebook saying like being the person who says I don't even watch Game of Thrones is like saying I'm the vegan. I'm vegan.
Yeah.
It's like a thing people. I'm just not into it.
Or the slew of people making "Please don't spoil the finale for me" posts.
A week later,
you've seen those, yeah,
and you're like, dude, no.
Well, even like a day later, like.
Well, okay. Even me as unreasonable as I can be. One day I can go, okay, maybe something happened. One day, sure.
Yeah.
But if it's Wednesday and no, you're done. Find time, take your lunch, sit in your car, bust that HBO Go, and
so
handle your business.
that is our spoiler warning. We're going to be talking.
We're going to talk about it.
Everything.
So when the season first started, you and I both said to each other, there may not be anything for us to get angry enough about. Like we may not be angry. We may just be talking about how much we love.
The first like four episodes, I had like no complaints.
Yeah.
I mean, it.
Well, that's not true. We did complain on this podcast about Ed Sheeran and his
oh, that's true. But that's not like really something about. I don't know. Whatever. Fuck that.
Fuck that. Fucking ginger bastard.
Well, so we're not alone in saying that the writing is mostly what people are complaining about.
Fair.
The pacing has been just not just a tad different than the rest of the series. It's just completely different than the rest of the series.
Fucking warp speed.
It's like, I mean, this is the show where you get in like these long scenes with long dialogue and people like this slow character development and the pacing is usually like things move quickly at some points, but only when like climactic points. But now we have like the whole season is climactic points.
Yeah.
Like we're at the point where everyone is coming together, everyone's fighting shit, everyone's fighting each other, everyone's like fighting shit. Yeah. And it's like, and that is what I had an issue with.
Okay, really quickly. The season started off with Arya basically wiping out the Freys.
Yeah,
right?
That was great.
Was the coolest way to start a season. I could not have been more excited. I was
awesome.
super fucking hyped.
That was awesome.
So the season started out with a bang. People fighting things, killing things. Great. But as you said, as the season progressed, everything kind of became less focused on what the task was and more just like quickly speeding along to have these big set pieces, these big big battle,
yeah.
And it felt forced. It felt rushed. And I understand they want to wrap it up, but it's like you couldn't have.
Well, what
2 more episodes maybe?
Someone on Reddit, I won't be able to quote them exactly, but they said something along the lines of things aren't happening to the characters anymore. The characters are the ones. How do I put this? Shit. The plot like isn't just happening naturally.
Yeah.
The plot is like people are serving the plot because these things need to happen.
Yeah.
The best example I can come up with, which is the most angry I got about the show, is that the stupid fucking idea to go capture White and bring it back to King's Landing.
Agreed 100%.
It was
I literally had that written down.
Ever justified. It was the stupidest fuck like when Tyrion initially said it,
yeah.
I was like, what the fuck show am I watching?
Yeah.
This is not Game of Thrones.
Yep.
That is stupidest
I was there. You literally stopped.
Fucking idea I've ever heard. Not just in Game of Thrones, but even like in a movie, I would go, "That's a stupid fucking idea."
Yeah.
But we're talking about Tyrion Lannister coming up with this idea, and we
known
know
for intelligence,
and we know why. It's because they needed to go up there and had a dragon be captured by the Night King.
Yeah.
It just needed to happen somehow.
Now,
but it didn't need to happen with a stupid fucking idea that I would never believe that these really intelligent characters would go along with.
Well, the thing for me is like if you needed
it's having the plot having them serve the plot rather than the plot happening.
If you needed to get a dragon to the Night King, have Dany insist on flying up and grabbing one. Have her go up there with a couple of people. She flies up. They burn a bunch of fucking whites. They go down. They grab one. One of the dragons gets taken. Fine.
Yeah.
Done.
Yes.
But by having them walk, which happened in 8 minutes, they walk to the fucking wall. 7 of the most popular characters are like, let's all go. Yeah. And then no one important dies. Like, Thoros died of Myr, which people that haven't read the book may have been like, oh, that's the guy who runs around with the brothers. That would have been like the extent of what you knew.
Yeah.
Now, he's a more important character in the books, but he's still not a giant character.
No.
They made it look like Tormund was going to die twice this season. There's no fucking chance he died.
That was fucking bullshit.
So stupid.
When they did that, like, they made a conscious decision. They didn't have to make it appear like he was going to die, but they did. And that was the point where it's like, this is not Game of Thrones. If this was Game of Thrones, he would have fucking died.
Exactly. People would have
died.
You got to build drama. It's like, no. The first fucking season, what happened? Ned, who you thought was the main character, fucking gets his head cut off.
Yeah, if it was season 7, they would have been like, oh, never mind, we're not going to kill you. And then he survives.
Yeah, this will be a cliffhanger for next year.
Right.
Yeah. Which they literally did. They're like, there's people going, well, did Tormund survive the wall coming down? Yes.
Yeah,
he didn't die on screen. He's fucking fine. But the problem is they kept just pulling extras out of their ass during that scene when they're fighting on the lake. Yeah. They're like, where are these people coming from? Yeah. Where did this extra... You literally said to me as we're watching the show, how many extra people were with them? I thought there was only like 2 or 3 extra. And then
they just appear to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, Tormund's about to get dragged into the water, which would have been a very impactful death, by the way. I don't want him to die.
But I was saying, while it was happening, I was saying I would be so fucking pissed if that was how he died.
But at least that's an emotion.
No, but it would have been through this stupid fucking plan that was stupid to begin with. I would have been so upset if you died that way.
And instead, we just gave the Night King a fucking insanely powerful weapon that takes the goddamn wall down.
And I, like I said, I understand that
had to
needed to happen, but it was in the stupidest fucking way
Absolutely possible. Could not agree more.
Okay. So we really didn't like episode 6. That's
episode 6. Yeah.
The one
it was well shot and it was entertaining, but between Gendry run back to the wall in 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Hey, Tormund nearly die several times and not die.
Yeah.
Hey, Jon survive this fight where you're completely outnumbered, fall into water, you should have drowned and died. Oh, now you're freezing, you should be dead. No, your uncle shows up and you hop on a horse and you're perfectly fine. All those things, I'm like, there's too many, like, really?
Yeah.
Really? And so I get that Jon's not going to die. They're not going to kill Jon off again. He's already died once. So there's no way they're going to kill him off again.
Yeah.
But
we're still figuring out stuff about him, so there's no way where he's just going to die in the middle of that.
But the thing that took me back from that, him getting out of the water, was earlier in the season, the really awesome battle scene where she first takes the dragons and fucks up that army.
Yeah.
Jaime falls in the water and it looks like he's sinking 30 feet. And then the next episode, they're just on the beach, like 1,000 yards away.
Yeah.
Nobody cares to go look for them.
The week between those 2 episodes, we were thinking that Jaime was going to be captured by Dany and be her prisoner because there's we're thinking he has all this armor on. There's no way he's going to be able to swim anywhere. And she's going to capture
enough
him.
armor that he sank immediately.
But then he just shows up like hundreds of yards away across the lake. Like, with Dany still in the distance, you could see Drogon.
Yeah.
And they just walk away.
They just they just walk away and beat nobody. Nobody goes and looks for him.
The commander of her enemy's army
just walks away.
Yeah.
And then they're like, hey, we're now going to send Tyrion to the city to go chit chat with you when we could have just grabbed you and talked.
Yeah.
Let's let Tyrion go.
Yeah.
Tyrion paddles up in a boat with fucking Davos to the fucking beach when they're in the middle of a war.
Yes.
When they're in the middle of sending Euron Greyjoy, they're like, hey, go out there and destroy all these ships. The bay around us, we're keeping an eye on anybody coming in. Yet these 2 people paddled up.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Davos is great, but come on. Then they're going to have this little dwarf, who's the most notorious dwarf in the entire world, meander his way into the castle.
Yeah.
To chit-chat, and then Bronn doesn't say anything to him? He's like,
it's fucking crazy.
Stupid.
So, like, all these moments are, like, basically... We understand that they need to happen. Jaime needed to, like, go against the dragon because it was, like, symbolic, and he's, like, he doesn't like Targaryens
should've
because
died.
of the Mad King and blah, blah, blah.
He should have died.
He should have died,
Yeah.
but we understand he didn't. He still has more of a
He has an
story,
arc.
so
Yeah.
he didn't die. So we understand he was in danger, and we understand that he should have survived. But the way that it was executed
Yep.
makes us pissed, because it's not like
It's not the way the show's been written.
It shows you that seasons 1 through 6, and I think 6 is the best one in my opinion. I mean, I'll go back and watch them all, but I think 6 is my favorite season. Even then, they were still straying from the books a little bit, but they still had the reins on the situation.
Yeah.
Like, they could still make events happen that built tension, like Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah.
And we really thought, we all really thought Jon might die. Like, there were points where we were seriously thinking that.
Yeah.
And and we've gone from that to just like 6 episodes later from Battle of the Bastards
Yeah.
to knowing full well that Jon has plot armor that will never be broken.
Yeah.
At least not until like the last episode of the series.
Well, and that's the thing. So I had my thoughts where I go, look, I like Jaime. He's actually one of my favorite characters. I didn't want him to die.
Yeah.
But realistically, he should have died. The dragon should have killed him. And if the dragon didn't kill him, Bronn should have died. Like,
Yeah.
saving his life,
Yeah.
Bronn should have died.
Not even minor characters are dying.
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
It made little to no sense. And then they set up Bran as this like really important character, and then he fucking disappears for like a third of the season, and then pops back up at the end to like help them. Like,
did you hear that
there was a
talked
scene
about a deleted scene? Yeah.
which I'm really glad they didn't show, because if they had shown that scene, then they would have like basically solidified that Arya and Sansa had no idea what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah.
Because
That's
without
true.
that scene, it seems like they were setting Littlefinger up, which makes a lot more sense.
That's true.
Like, Arya goes and does this training, and all of a sudden she's an idiot, gets tricked by... Now, granted, Littlefinger's smart, but to tell me that she just walked around not thinking someone was following her? She's been stabbed in the gut. Like, she's fucking...
Yeah. What's funny is that as frustrated as I was about that plot line, I actually, by the end of it, thought it was pretty good.
No,
I
of
actually
course,
enjoyed
because we are going in our heads going, they actually had the upper hand, they figured him out, they defeated him.
Yeah, and that was cool.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just like, it wasn't bullshit like the rest of it. But that's what I mean. Like, it's frustrating that we know that the stakes are raised and that not as many people are going to die because there aren't as many people left.
Yeah.
But it's just frustrating that they're writing it the way that they are.
Well, and that's
And
what happens when...
we're not saying we don't enjoy it. We still enjoy watching it.
What I was going to say is, instead of leaving on a negative note, the scene where Arya comes in and she gets in that little sword fight with Brienne was one of my favorite moments.
That was cool.
That was just a great moment. Arya killing the Freys
Brienne
was
talked
amazing.
to the Hound about her.
How
that was really
basically
cool.
they're both like proud parents. That was fucking awesome.
That was cool.
Watching Littlefinger bleed out, I'm still erect.
Very
like I'm
satisfying.
still I'm just walking around with my hands over my lap. There were a lot of great moments.
Yeah.
The snowdrop, the snow falling on Jaime's hand, like saying that
was cool.
winter has hit King's Landing. Huge, important, awesome.
That happened in the books, right?
We're not there yet in the books.
Really?
No.
I thought I heard that happened in the books.
Not that I remember. I need to read book 5 again, but that's not where I'm at in book 5. In book 5, at the end of book 5, Dany gets kidnapped by the Khalasar. That's where I'm at. Like, that's where we're at in the books.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
anyway, but I mean, it was a good season. I'm excited, but the last 3 episodes really kind of sent me into a place where I'm like, I'm really hoping that's not how season 8 is written. I'm really hoping that they take their time a little bit more. I know they're not gonna, but from the rumors that I've heard, the episodes are going to be longer. The season's still going to be short, but I also heard that's getting pushed all the way back to 2019, which that sucks.
Yeah. I don't know anything about it, but I don't see the reason for pushing it that far besides just building more hype.
Yeah, because that's what that show needs is more fucking hype.
Right. But
Just stop writing it like it's The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to kill Daryl. Okay, we got it. You're not going to kill Rick.
Walking
we got
Dead
it.
is a whole other thing.
But that's the point, though. But that's how you're writing it. You're writing it like, we're going to make you think Rick's going to die this episode, and he's not going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
In that way, it is similar. Yeah.
Anyway.
We still enjoy it. It's still
It's
like
still
one
a
of our
great show.
favorite shows.
It's probably in my opinion, one of the greatest shows that's ever been put on TV. Like,
yes.
I mean, there's very few shows that are that great.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't mean we can't get pissed.
Yeah. listening to this episode of the Unreasonably Angry Podcast. If you enjoyed what you heard, please rate and review us on iTunes, Facebook, or wherever else you might be able to do that. Because we like to hear what you think, and we like when other people we like when other people hear what you think.
Yeah, you always have fun with that sentence. If you haven't already, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us wherever people follow things. And if you have some topics you want us to talk about, if there's something that pissed you off, if you disagree with what we said, if we said something and you looked at your radio and said, "Shut the fuck up, Eric."
Radio, what year is it?
Well, I listened to it on the radio in my car. You did it.
Okay, fair enough.
So if you're listening on your podcast app and you got mad because Gary stumbled on a word or because he didn't think
I'm
that
ignorant
cows were
about
wild,
where cows come from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Send us an email. Shoot us a tweet. Email us at unreasonablyangrypodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, my name is Eric.
And I'm Gary.
Stay angry, fuckers.